Neotech 2 key book. I'm on page 17. It's the anti-civilization is a deadly game of force and fraud. That's what we will be starting tonight. But before we do that, I want to go into a couple different articles that I read over the last couple of days about this situation that we're in now. And see, we have to realize, now I know a lot of us do, but I'm not sure how much this epidemic, and now they have a documentary coming out called Planademic. This whole thing was planned, okay? This was not just by chance that this virus came out. It was planned for years, probably. And now it's out there, and it's to take Trump down, and it's to make this world the socialist world, not just a country, but a world, a one world government. And this is how they are doing it. This is how they're planning on it. And they're doing this just like any other country that wanted to become socialist. The first that they attack is, obviously they attacked us with the virus, but then they start to say, you know what, we're going to hit it with the food. And now we're having food shortages. Trump kind of eased that up a little bit today by getting those meat packing plants back opened. So hopefully that'll be the end of that, but they always go for the food. And they want to starve us, because then if we are good subjects at that point, then guess what? We can eat again. But just some of the things that are out there right now, like this one today I saw, it was a whole bunch of different people were writing it. And the one guy said, how to stop at the local Walmart today. It was packed. Just goes to show you how unethical this lockdown is. I can go to a packed Walmart to buy art supplies, but I can't go to a tiny local art store. The disproportionate hit to small businesses is criminal, and that's absolutely correct. And then another one said, when the state shuts down millions of private businesses but doesn't lay off a single government employee, it's not about your health. Think about that, right? We all lose jobs here. We lost, 30-some million jobs in the last couple of weeks? And that one government employee was told to go home. When the state puts you in jail for walking in a park with your child because it's too dangerous, but lets criminals out of jail cells for their health, it's not about your health. When the state tells you it's dangerous to go golfing alone, fishing alone, or boating alone, but the governor can get his stage makeup and hair done for 5 TV appearances in a week, it's not about your health. Then that new one out in California where they closed the Orange County beaches because there was too many people in it the week before because it was a nice day. Well, they shut down the beaches again. But yet, one of the people who shut it down was seen on a private beach in Orange County. But yet, we couldn't go to that beach. And in Jersey here, I think they're opening up the beaches tomorrow, but you can't sunbathe. You have to walk or just stay away from other people. But you can't sit and sunbathe. Now, I'm an expert beach goer. I've been my whole life. And the main reason I go there is to sunbathe. But I can't do that. I mean, this is like so idiotic. This is overstretch of government. This is how people react when they can throw anything out there to help, to stop us from doing something. And thank goodness there was some reason came out this week that the governor of Texas took that lady out of her 7-day jail sentence for opening up her business at home so that she could feed her kids and make the mortgage payment. This whole thing is so out of whack. This is what the AC world is, okay? That's what it does. Any chance that they can get. And they step on the Constitution, and they step on the Bill of Rights, and we have no rights, but they can do anything that they want. So anyway, that's where we're going to start off tonight. I just want to give you what's happening now because Frank Wallace is talking about it right here. He says the basis of an anti-civilization is producing citizens were unaware of such manipulations. Yet every deceptive leader, dishonest academic, and fraudulent authority is an anti-civilization, is harmful to the well-being and happiness of conscious life. Such leaders are skilled by hiding their dishonesties and destructions used to drain the value producers. Today, these leaders are called neo-cheaters. Now, this is, I don't know if anybody has ever looked at this in this light, okay? He says, all neo-cheaters, however, are trapped within their own creation, within their own unnatural anti-civilization. They are trapped by their parasitical lives, trapped into playing a monstrous game that always ends in loss and death for them and everyone else on earth. So even the people who caused this anti-civilization are trapped in this like we are. And they'll die too. This is a game that they play that nobody can win. Because the goal of Neothink is what? Biological immortality. It's our biggest goal here, is to have this conscious life where we can live forever and be happy. And all they do is keep us enslaved so that we can die. In essence, living in an anti-civilization requires everyone playing its bizarrely deadly game of survival. And we are not supposed to live on this planet to survive. But yet, isn't that all that we're doing? Especially lately? I mean, this is all got to get to everybody eventually. It's obscene for us to sit in this house day in and day out and not having the freedom to get business done, to get our lives going, to be happy, not to just survive. That game is accepted by everyone invested in the anti-civilization. It is a game of subtle dishonesties, rationalizations, and self-deceptions that bring everyone to unnecessary losses and eventual death. It's a game that grinds human life to nothing through criminal redistributions of wealth by way of gun pack regulations, political agenda laws, con game compassions, lawyer-like dishonesties, and destructive religious frauds. And from the COU perspective, the death-delivering anti-civilization is unredeemable, incomprehensible, not worthy of memories. When leaving the anti-civilization behind, one hears Poe's raven cry, nevermore, nevermore, nevermore. He's so right there. We don't not want to hear this ever again, all this stuff that we have to go through now. All right? The civilization of the universe is the eternal business of competitive value production. The Neothink protocols deliver never-before-imagined business dynamics that arise from the COU perspectives. These dynamics deliver endless wealth, ageless life, and romantic excitement undreamed in Earth's anti-civilization. No games are played in the civilization of the universe. Oh, isn't that nice? No games at all. Dishonesty, irrationality, mythicism, fraud, crime, wars, disease, envy, boredom, loneliness, mental depression, and death are unknown in the COU. Yet all that I just read in that one sentence, can anybody describe what he's talking about? He's describing today, what we're going through today. All these things is hitting us every day. Dishonesty, irrationality, mythicism, fraud, crime, wars, disease, envy, boredom, loneliness, mental depression, and death are unknown. All those things vanish in a COU. We never have to deal with those emotions again, ever. Instead, every citizen lives honestly through expanding business excitement, competitive value production, endless knowledge, wealth creation, malevolent friendships, romantic love, and artistic enjoyment. Wow. Imagine if we could do that every day. instead of sitting cooped up in our houses. And then they came out with this research that was done, and they were saying that since we've been ordered to stay home, more people are dying, not of the virus, but of staying home. It's not healthy for us to be sitting in our houses day in and day out, especially if we're bored, especially if we have, because even if you can get out, there's no place to go. You can drive around for a while, but that's about it. You can go food shopping, but that's about it. There's no other place to go. And if you notice at nighttime, like there's hardly any traffic out there at night, again, because there's no place to go. So this is all the things that they're doing to us. So since the discovery of neotech 2 decades ago, its literature has been written from the perspective of prospering in Earth's anti-civilization. As identified in that literature, anti-civilization functions criminally from the dishonest politician, religious base of irrationality, mythicism, force, and fraud. Yet by applying wide-scope accounting and fully integrated honesty to life on Earth, along with DTZ, which is discipline, thought, and control, one prospers despite those anti-civilization thoughts. Okay, so in this anti-civilization, it doesn't mean that we can't step forward. It doesn't mean that we can't live our lives. It doesn't mean that we can't hit our essence. It doesn't mean that we can't start a business. Yes, we can. We can do all the things that it says in here. Hundreds of thousands of people worldwide are quietly acquiring open-ended wealth and enjoying happiness, romantic love by applying the competitive advantages gained through neotech. They outflank the parasites and neo-Jews who drain everyone on Earth. So we don't have to suffer here, okay? We just have to start living as we were talking about last week. We have to separate from this AC1, and we have been saying this for a while now, on the Sunday call too, and then this call. And I want to drill it into everybody's head. We have to separate. We don't have to participate in this. Right now they took away our liberty, but they didn't take away our freedom. And as long as you're living free and doing what you want to do with your life, you're in that civilization of the universe. So then the question came, because on this next one it says, Truman's Doorway. Now, I haven't read this information in a while. So as I'm going through this, I'm thinking, what the hell's Truman's Doorway? And all it is this one paragraph here. And I'm tracking my brain. I'm saying, so I'm looking in the glossary back in the back of the book, and it just says that it's on this page. So I'm sitting here and I said, now I know Truman. Why did he use the word Truman? And this is how we should read all of our literature. Something's there. It's going to click eventually. So I think I have it. So what I did this afternoon was I called Juanita. I said, Juanita, go to page 19. Do you have any idea of what this Truman's Doorway is? And Juanita, she was going back, and I told her what I thought it was, and we looked it up, and it seems like this was the right thing. All right. I think we all know the actor Jim Carrey. And back in 1997 or whenever it was, he made a movie called The Truman Show. And I watched it back then, and I thought it was a fascinating movie. This is well before I got into Neo thing. And it was basically, if you remember it at all, it was a reality show on TV. And Jim Carrey was born right on TV. And his whole life, he lived in this town. He had no idea it was a TV show. He had no idea that all the people in town were actors and actresses. And it was a town that nothing ever happened. But after, he was like in his 30s, I think, And this show ran every year, 24 hours a day, basically, and people would watch it all over the world. They actually watched him grow up from the moment he stepped on board here and all the way through his life. But in his 30s, he started to realize that there was something different, something missing, and he started to realize that he had to investigate, and basically he did break out of, because they were basically in this big dome. The town was just built for this show, and it had boundaries on it. So, but then as you look at it, and you realize, why did Frank R. Wallace use that movie? And if you think about it, his whole life was an illusion. Everything he believed and everything he was taught was an illusion. Nothing was real. Because even the people there, they were actors and actresses. They weren't really who they said they were. So his whole life was just based on this one big illusion. Is that any different than how we were raised? Because you have to understand here, we were an illusion to our children. Yes, they're our kids, but we were an illusion. We're an illusion to each other. Because when you go through life without living your finite essence, you're not being you. You're being someone else. So Truman's life on this TV show is basically no different than our life. When we grew up, everybody was, they were our parents. They were our real parents biologically, but yet they weren't happy. They weren't living their essence. Everybody else wasn't living their essence. So we were raised in all the same illusions that he was. It's a perfect example of what the AC world is. So as you watch that movie, like you didn't, when you first watched it, like, where's this movie going? It seems like, because every time we tried to get out of town, there was construction going on, or this was going on, and he couldn't go. And, he never left the town. And some of the people in town would leave for like a couple of weeks because they went on vacation, but then they just came back to the show. But the whole thing was an illusion. And Juanita, if you have anything to say about that, go ahead, because we were both.
Yeah, Charlie, you did excellent on describing that, because I went and watched it today, looking at it to say, that's what he was talking about, the doorway there, because, like you said, from birth, they planned this individual's life out from birth, and he was in a movie 24/7, and actually they had built a dome around, like a town on an island, and he was, and when they even created where he lost his father, they created emotions, real emotions, they created pulling that passionate love from him. And when he started questioning, like you said, he started seeing through the illusion. He started seeing that the people were, he started seeing that their honesty wasn't there. They were actually being very dishonest when he thought, and making him think he was going crazy. They even took it to the part where they even tried to kill him before he found out what was really going on. And when I thought about it, I go, isn't that what we're going through right now? That even before we find out what's really going on, we have to really, like you said, Charlie, be in the survival mode, because we don't know what we don't know, because it's being kept from us. So to me, it was like, they just created a big illusion around us. And with NeoThink, we have the fully integrated honesty, we have the disciplined thought and control, we have the wide scope accountability to see through all the illusions there. So it's like we can see through all of this, and we don't have to participate in that AC, and that's even down to the government, how they're even making you think that they're doing you, they're taking care of you because they sent you some money, or it's just an illusion. And then they take the food away, but now all of a sudden they have the food, and everybody's running out and scrambling around. That is what you don't want to participate in. And looking at it, I go, how long are they going to keep the people down? See, what I saw in that movie, too, is they created fear to keep him afraid to even go in the water. So this is what they're doing with us in this, and it's really amazing to me that Dr. Wallace really identifies the AC in such a candid, I wanted to say a candid perspective. Like, he puts the AC right under camera. He reverses what we're seeing. He reverses what they're doing to us onto them. And that's how you don't participate, because you really see it for what it is. And when you expose a neo-cheater, then it dissipates. That's a word that he uses a lot. It dissipates. It goes away because it's nothingness. It's nothingness. And that's what I wanted to express, Charlie.
So you went to a matinee today, huh?
Well, I did it on my TV because once we researched it, I said, hey, wait a minute, 1998, and I said, isn't this something? It was just amazing wake-up to exactly what's going on right now. And I knew that when you questioned that and you called me, I knew that that's what it was about. I knew it right away in maybe the first 10 minutes of watching it. I go, oh yeah, that's what Dr. Wallace was describing in this certain literature right here of Truman's Doorway.
Yeah, he was basically living a life that is meaningless, and so we are capable of so much because of our conscious mind, with the integrations and being conscious. We have no limits to what we can think, and we have no limits of what we can do. It's limitless, not meaningless. You can't get any more further away of those two words. And his whole life he lived, it was just meaningless. It wasn't going anywhere. Nothing was ever happening in the town. They put in fake news when they had the TV on. What's going on, and it was just all made up stuff, just like it is today. I mean, it's really, that movie was, I mean, like, if you look at it, in fact, I'm going to go back and watch it, because I probably haven't watched it since I saw it that one time, way back then.
Yes.
And
you will really get a lot out of it, because I even got out. We talk about pure love in Neo-Think, and we practice pure love. Well, it really goes to show you, they even tried to manipulate his whole life as far down to the essence of his love, the one that he fell in love with, the first falling in love. They even took that away from him. And I think that's what he kept thinking, something isn't right, because his emotions, and that's what we have in Neo-Think, Charlie. When we get down to the essence of it, of what is, we always go to that pure love. And I think that's what I saw in that movie today. I said, wow, don't they do that to us all the time? That survival, that sex and survival, take away by taxing us so much and taking all that they cause stress even in your home life, where how do you know if you're even getting along with your mate, if you are or not, because they put so much stress on the individual in our country. We don't matter. So it's like you said, but they make you think they're doing this for you, but they're getting their makeup on and they're getting ready to talk about it. But is it really for the benefit of you? No, it's not. It's not for the individual at all. It's for them, because they're in this position that they're going to control, and that's what it is.
Yeah. So I think to really, because it does mirror what we have lived in our lives. You have to understand this whole anti-civilization is an illusion. Everything, just like that movie was to Jim Carrey, to Truman, it was just an illusion, and that's what there's nothing real to this anti-civilization. It's just all propped up. It's a house of cards. That's all it is. Everything. There's nothing real here. So we have to separate. And I don't know why, if you're fighting it, why are you fighting it? What has this world done for you? What has government done for you? What has church done for you? Nothing. It's just, we are not put on this earth to have these meaningless life. We are put here to be creative. We are put here to be happy. Look at what are the odds of us being born at this time in this country? What's the odds? There's probably not a number long enough. But they probably don't even have a name for that number. The odds of us being here on this call tonight. We have over 200 people on this call. What are the odds of all of us being here tonight? Just for us to find other people like ourselves who know that there's something better than what this world is offering us. And then we come here, and then we find out why we couldn't figure this out before, and why the world is the way it is. And it's this relief that at least we know now why it is. But now we have people here to share that with. People who thought the same thoughts. Knew that something was wrong, didn't know why. But what's the odds of us getting together? Now, you got to look at this and say, all right, this is the first chance of anybody who was on this planet, in the history of this planet, to finally break through and start the next evolution of man. We can do that. We can start the next evolution of man, which is the civilization of the universe. Think about that. Did you ever think that in your life that you would have a chance to do something like this? Well, I sure as hell didn't. I don't think Juanita did, right? Nobody thought that when we came here. But we have that shot of doing it. We can see. We know what it's going to take. But we can do this evolutionary jump of mankind into conscious human beings and start this new world that would be forever. So we can be Zons, we could be God-men. When I got to start doing this again, and I have stopped, and I could really kick myself. For a lot of years, I was doing on my mini days. I would take at least a half hour a day, some days more, but at least a half hour a day, and I would see myself in the seat of you, what I think it would be, and how we would feel. And I would come out of that half hour just like, wow, just pumped up, flying high. And I wrote a couple plays, and actually I read some with some other members helping me out years ago on the Sunday night call. And I would like to bring that back again. But in fact, I should write another play. And believe me, people, I'm not a writer. And when I first started, but yet when I first started the first one that I wrote, it hit me, and I just started to write it, and I was done like in a half hour. And I was like, whoa. It was just like this power took over on me. because I always wanted to write, but my problem was I couldn't get my thoughts to my hand to write it down. It was just like this disconnection, I got it up here in my head, but for some reason I can't get it down on paper. But that day it just hit me, and I wrote the whole thing out, and I just had to redo it just a little bit here and there, and I had this great, what I thought would happen. And, and it was all based on the books. Just like Miss Annabelle, my whole thing was, it was another faction. I mean, it wasn't, 1,100 pages or 1,200 pages. Mine was like maybe more of 6, but it was just how we took over and how we got the TVP going and how we end up winning the White House. So it was this really kind of cool thing. But what are the odds? But yet we did it. We rolled the ultimate dice here, and we hit it. We won the lottery, the jackpot, whatever you want to call it. We're in Neothink. And we can't do better than that. So why are we going to blow it? How can we turn our backs on it? How can we turn our backs on fellow human beings? Because, I talk to a lot of people here every day in and day out, and having a hard time finding the rest. And so, and I'll ask them a lot of times, well, what would you like to do? Well, I want to help people. And that's such an AC statement. I want to help people. Anybody can say that. And I've always come right back and said, now listen, how do you want to help people? And then there's dead silence on the phone. We haven't even, everybody says, I want to help people, but they don't think past that to say, well, how do you want to help people? How do I want to help people? There's 10 zillion ways of helping people. And most people, even people in Neothink, they don't come back and say to themselves, well, how do I want to do this? It's nice to say, it's a good feeling it gives you, but when are you going to take action with it? When are you going to sit down and say, all right, it's time. How do I want to help people? How am I going to go about this? How am I going to find out how? And then you start thinking. And then you start seeing yourself. And then you start just digging into it. And all of a sudden, the picture starts to clear. All of a sudden, some pieces are floating around out there. Now all you can do is just put them together. And you do some hard thinking on that. Now you're starting to get excited. Because now you're starting to say, all right, I think I'm narrowing this down. And then all of a sudden, it's going to hit you. That's how I want to help people. Wow, what a breakthrough. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. We got to start taking our essence seriously, so that we're not one of these fake people. We're not an illusion.
I was going to say, Charlie, that show I watched today. It was like that was the message. That was the true message of that show, was seeing through fake people, and that's what Neothink does. It lets you see through that, and what Dr. Wallace calls them the neo-cheaters. And today, all that rang through my ears is sovereignty, and I had to look that up, and it says possessing supreme or ultimate power. That is the individual. That is your God-man power, and sovereignty is a full right and power of a governing body over itself. And how simple can that be? To know that, and when we're in our essence, what you're talking about, Charlie, when you're in your essence, you are in the sea of you. And what Dr. Wallace even wrote in here, the sea of you. There's no philosophy in the sea of you. You are just riding on your essence, and it's a beautiful experience. And there's not any phoniness there. There's no unnaturalness about it. It's so natural. And I'll give it back to you.
But you set something up that I can fall right into now. When they first started the active every night of the week just about now. And Steve asked me to be on the Sunday night call with him. And he called me we would talk every day, but this is going back, it was 8 years, 9, whatever it's been. And he called me up it wasn't even 8 o'clock in the morning yet. I was up, we never would talk that early. I said, geez, what the hell is he calling for? So I go on the phone and he says, you know that new program that Mark's talking about? He says, do you want to do this Sunday night call with me? And asking me the Powers call. And without even thinking, I said, yes. And then after I hung up with him, we talked for about 20 minutes. Then I was I was shaky. I said, oh my God, what did I just say yes to? I don't know. I'd never done anything like this before. So all day long, I was really nervous about it. But yet I'm feeling really excited about it. So I had to sit down and I said, all right, now, why are you feeling this? Why are you feeling this? Is when you take these inventories. Explain to yourself why you're having these emotions. So, and plus I was everybody, there was 14 mentors named, okay? Every one of those 14 were in this organization longer than I was. I was like the new kid on the block. So, and I'm sitting there, I'm saying, boy, I'm really nervous because, I knew I could do the call, but then it hit me. Why am I so excited about this? Aha, this is where it hit. I'm going to be myself. Now I have a chance to really show people who I am. Because before this was even talked about, this new program of Mark's, me and Steve wanted to teach this. He knew that was his essence, and I knew that it was my essence. That was my Friday night essence. Teaching, talking about, living, Neothink, and helping people move forward in their life. So that's why I was so excited. So we start the call, and me and Steve we just clicked on it, and and I'm not saying this to brag or ego, has nothing to do with it. It's just that we were real. And I'm not saying that the other mentors weren't. I'm not saying anything like that. But after the first couple months, nobody could come close to the number of people who listened to our call. And it wasn't because we were the greatest thing since sliced bread. We gave it passion. Like I give passion now, like Juanita gives passion, because we love what we're doing. And as I said, I've probably done 1,800 calls here, and I still am not tired of doing these calls. That can only mean one thing. It is my essence. It's Juanita's essence. It's Karen's essence when she comes on Sunday night. This is what we were supposed to do. What a feeling. Now I don't feel like a phony anymore. Because that's what we all are when we're not being ourselves. We're being a phony. But mainly we're being a phony to ourselves, let alone to people who love us. And that's how Truman felt. Because everybody was a phony to him. Our parents were. Our families are. Because who do you know that's truly living their essence? It's an incredible, to think about that, it takes so much out of us to be somebody else. That's a lot of work. So people come here, oh, I can't read all this, it's too much work. Well, hell, you've been working hard your whole life trying to be somebody else. Wouldn't it be easier just to be yourself? Well, I don't know myself. I'm afraid to find out who I am. Oh, bullshit. It's who you are. Why are you afraid of being who you are? It's been a great ride meeting me. I've had a ball seeing all the different phases and facets of who I am. And I'm still learning who I am. But it's been like, wow, I can't believe that I'm doing this. I still can't believe it some days. I'm doing these calls and I'm loving it, still loving it after all these years. And And then when I get these people on the phone every day, and a lot of them are like really like brand new, they only have 1 or 2 books. I'm the first person that they talk to, and NeoThink, and so they're they're just brand new here. And I tell them, I said right now you have no idea what's going on. I said, but hopefully soon you're going to feel like you're the luckiest person in the world because you have this information. And I don't know if they could take that with a grain of salt, or they could say, this guy's so full of crap. But they don't, I think, because they hear the passion in my voice about it. And then some of them get on the call, and they're so excited to hear from me. Not just because it's me, just because it's somebody from NeoThink. Oh, finally I can talk to it. I haven't talked to anybody here yet. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you for calling. And they're really, you could just hear the excitement, but you can hear how grateful they are. Yeah, because I got 5 books here. I never talked to anybody. I thought this was a ripoff. And they tell me all these different things. And, is this for real? I said, well, I'm for real. Well, how long have you been here? I said, like 12 and a half years. Wow. It's been around that long? I said, yes. It's been around longer than that. But I can only be myself now. I don't know how to be that other person that I was. I just want to wash my hands of that person. I don't want to be that person anymore, and I'm not. Oh, there's still a few things lingering there, believe me. But it's just, I will bury that person someday. I'm just going to take the child of the past out of them, because I need that, and everything else will go away. But everybody on this call can do that. Only if you want it. Only if you desire it. Only if you take yourself seriously and say, I'm going to do this. I had a guy call me the other day. No, I'm sorry. It was a girl. It was a girl, listen to me. It was a girl. Yeah, she was 10. But somebody called up and asked about the study guide call. And she was really interested. And she goes, I think I want to do. She says, it really sounds like a good call. I'm telling her, it really is. And believe me, it's the best. It is the best call as far as getting some integrations out. So I'm sitting there, and then at one point, she said, well, how many people come on this call about? I said, well, you're probably going to be surprised at this answer. Wow, it's that many? I said, no. I said, it's that few. What do you mean? I said, well, right now we have about 20, 21 members on this call. That's all? I said, yeah, that's all. Which makes it good for the 20, 21 people here, because it's a very intimate call. Okay? Everybody can speak up. Everybody gets feedback back and forth on the answers. And it really, but, and I told Juanita, even when we had the call years ago, every Wednesday afternoon, I said, Juanita, I don't care if just 10 people come to this call. We're going to focus on those 10 people. So I get away from the numbers on this call, but yeah, I think it should be more people there, but hey, it's up to you, So, but it doesn't stop me from giving it everything I have every month on a Saturday. And those people get everything I have for 4 hours. But I want them to stay with this. And I tell you, only a few people have left over these last 6 months. They're staying. And then to sit and to grab people, but this is not just me, it's all of us. Nobody leaves the call early. We start out with 20 people. There's 20 people at the end. Maybe there's 19. Because maybe somebody had to go somewhere or something. But nobody ever just leaves the call. They stay to the very end. Now, I'm done that call, and I'm not even tired. I'm just so juiced up. I'm just fired up. And it goes by so fast, but these people just, But that's what happens when you start to feel who you are. When you start living that life that you want to live. When you start being yourself, when you find your essence, and you're comfortable with yourself. And I'm going to just realized how late it was. I'm
Yes.
looking around here real quick. Yeah. And I can't find
the healing list.
Yeah, I just
the
found
healing.
it. I have the healing list.
And can you make sure you put Jesse on the healing list for his ankle, or I guess he hurt his foot. He asked me to ask you, so please add him right now. Okay.
I'm going to add him right now. All right, Jesse.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, he texted me and asked me if you would add him, and I said yes. we'll add you to it. I guess he hurt his foot. Okay.
This is the healing list, people. Most of you know what it is, but for any of the new people, I did bring this back. We had it for a while, then I stopped, and now it's back again. And it was kind of silly to take it away to begin with. But anyway, it's a healing list. In other words, if you have an ailment, if you're suffering from something, or someone that you love, or a family member, your spouse, or your kids, or something, we send out energy to people who are on the healing list. We will do it today for a minute, and a lot of people get better, and they feel that energy every Thursday night and every Sunday night, because we do this on Sundays too. But let me go through the list, then we'll stop, do a minute of silence, and then when we come back, then you have a choice. You can hang up then, that's fine, don't worry about it. But me and Juan need to stay around for 20, 30 minutes, and we do like a Q&A session. And so we will stop. When I say goodnight to everybody, a lot of people will say goodnight, and they'll leave. And then me and Juanita takes maybe 2 or 3 minute break. And then we'll come back on, and then we'll have a Q&A session. So it's up to you on what you want to do there. But let me start here with the healing list. So it's Jesse, hurt his ankle. We have Kathy and Fred from Ohio. Fred has a really bad kidney. He's waiting for a transplant. And Kathy has some ailments of her own. Elaine Bennett is doing better from what I hear. She did fall and break a lot of bones in her body. Christina, who is Tim Holstad's sister, she ended up catching the virus, but she never went in the hospital, and she's doing fine. Adrian Henderson has some severe family problems, so she needs a lot of energy from us. Jim and Ruth Rottenberry, he's got a very bad back, but he's taking care of his wife Ruth, who is basically, I think she's bedridden most times. She has a lot of different ailments, and he's taking care of her 24/7. Ray Holland in Texas, his daughter Ashley Shelby is battling brain cancer. I think it's Joa Somerville. She's got a very bad shoulder. She tore it, and it's extremely painful. Sherry Stratford had 5 discs removed from her neck. Ugh, I can't imagine that. Barbara from Texas has a real strange story here. She's dying. She was just told that she has this incurable cancer of the blood. But in the meantime, she's just had 7 strokes, all rather rapidly. Her eyesight's going. So her and her husband decided, bam, we're going to make up our bucket list, and we're going to go and get as much out of life as we can. And she had this great attitude about her. So let's send her some energy that she gets a lot of those things on that bucket list done. Joanne, radiation for her bones. She had cancer, I believe, but the bones got real frail, so she's going through radiation for that. Geraldine Williams, angina. She has that. Rick Braun out of Louisiana. He has a painful right heel. I'm not sure what is wrong, but it's very, very painful. And his mother has a lot of different ailments, and her name is Mary Ann. And then Elaine Staten. I didn't write down what her illness was, but let's send her some energy to it. And Eileen, if you're on the phone, give me a call tomorrow and remind me what it was. I apologize. I just don't have it written here. But that's the people on the healing list, so let's send them out energy for the next minute, and then we'll take a break for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we will be back. So let's start it now. everyone, thank you. Have a great week, and we will see you next Thursday night. So, everybody, have a great week, and we will see you then. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Have a great week.
See ya. Guys, Philly Price.
Good night,
everybody.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, Charlie. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thank you. I'm enjoying my book.
Good night, Charlie, Juanita.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Charlie.
Good night.
Just, it's over.
Good night, Charlie, Juanita. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Night.
Good
Night.
night.
May the force be with you.
Good night, everyone, and I hope you all hang in there.
Good night.
Yeah. I think you've done wonderful. Yeah.
Good night. Juanita, are you there?
I'm here, Charlie.
I knew you would be.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. If you have any comments about tonight's call or any other questions that you have, just hit *6, and we'll get you up. And so we have a couple hands raised already. So let's go to Elizabeth. Go ahead.
Hi. I'm really enjoying this call, and I tell you, I love reading these books. And the thing is, I'm really getting into the Neotech books, and I just know that when somebody said to me one time, Neotech is integrated honesty, I said, oh my gosh, I need that. It'll change my whole life. I just had this gut feeling it would, and I'm really enjoying my books. I wanted to say hi to Juanita and call her, sometime. I apologize for that.
Yes. I hope you had a happy birthday week, Elizabeth.
Oh, I did. I had a wonderful birthday, and they didn't arrive on my birthday, though. They arrived later, but that's okay. And the Mark Hamilton family, and I loved what Charlie shared about writing the plays, because there is a place in Mark Hamilton Family and Youth where it talks about his daughter writing the children's books, and I was reading that, and I want to really get into it because it's going to inspire me to write. But what I really wanted to say is, I'll try to make this brief because I know there are a lot of other people probably on the call, but what I wanted to say in reference to them closing the beaches, that is wow. I mean, there's so much that I want to say, but about when you were mentioning Truman. And, oh, my goodness, I mean, this is the anti-civilization is trying to keep us in a freaking observatory lab. It's like they're doing an experiment on us, and they are watching us like a hawk. I mean, they are tracking us on our cell phones to find out whether we stay in or whether we go out, where we go. There have been police that have actually been stopping people. Now, Front Royal hasn't been as bad in Virginia, but I saw in one of the videos on one of the YouTubes that there was a police officer who was apologizing and explaining that what some of the police officers are doing are so unconstitutional, and they say that they're just following orders, from the governor. But what's happening is they're doing things that are totally unconstitutional. So he's pointing this out and doing really crazy stuff like they'd stop people driving their cars and say, "Where are you going? Do you have papers proving that what you're doing, that you're going to a place that's essential? You know, are you doing something essential? What can you prove it? Do you have papers to show that?" And it's insane. And the other thing I wanted to say is that this the closing of the beaches and saying people aren't allowed to sunbathe, that's crazy. Because I've done some research on the coronavirus, this COVID-19. The thing that kills the virus is sunlight. The best thing you can do to prevent yourself from this virus is to sunbathe. I mean, this is crazy.
Again, this has nothing to do with our health.
No, it doesn't. You know, they're trying to keep us sick.
You know, so, but thank you, Elizabeth.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
We do have a lot of hands up here. Let's go to last four of the phone number, 1829.
Oh, hello, Lurdine Munoz Bennett. I'm curious, what is the movie that Juanita
The movie is called, it's called The Truman Show.
Oh, the Truman.
Truman. Truman.
Uh-huh.
It was, and it's with Jim Carrey. It was made back in the 90s. Late
1998.
98.
Truman, what's the word?
Huh?
Truman. It's called The Truman Story.
Story. Oh,
That's,
Or show, was it?
or The Truman Show, or something like
yeah.
that. But it's The Truman Show. That's what.
okay, I might have to look it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right?
That's all I was asking tonight. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
6291.
Yes, this is Kurt from Illinois, Kurt Murray.
Hey, Kurt. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Actually, I want to say, first of all, this is my first time listening to you guys and talking to you. This is my first call.
Well, welcome. Welcome aboard.
Yes.
Welcome.
So, everything is new, and I have even questions that I don't even know that I need to ask yet, but I wanted to start basically by what you went over tonight. What book or books are you reading from?
This is out of the Neotech 2-key book. Frank R. Wallace, Neotech 2-key. I think it's book 5 it's in that book.
And also, Charlie, I'm in the Prime Discovery, and I think it's book 4, and it's on the same page.
Book 4? Okay.
17.
Discovery?
Yes.
I think I have
The Prime
Discovery. I think
Prime Discovery. Yes, it's in book 4.
yes, that's what I have here.
Okay, and it's past the 5th dimension. If you see the 5th dimension, you go past it. It's a Neotech Protocols. It's by that, and it's on page 17.
17 in the book, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the book
Each
4,
book.
it would be in. Yes.
Each
Oh,
book
okay,
starts with page 1.
So, table of illustrations.
All right. Anything
I'm
else?
trying to familiarize myself with using this here. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, it's a big book. You should always take some time to get at least a feel of what's in it and where's it at. But that's where it's at. And we'll probably be back there next week, too. Okay. Well,
Okay.
welcome, and see you next week, Kurt.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn.
Let's go to 5896.
Oh, I wanted to know what the phone number and I didn't get the information for Mondays.
There is no call on Monday.
I didn't get the information for Mondays on my letter.
Which call you?
my letter that there was a call with Mark Hamilton on Mondays.
Okay, yeah, that's an old letter, and that call has been canceled.
There's a call.
Yes, the call was
The
canceled.
call has been canceled with Mark Hamilton.
Well, it wasn't with Mark Hamilton. It was with one of the mentors here, but that
The
call has
was
been canceled. Yes. But there are other calls that you can get on.
Oh, so now we don't get that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a mistake by a letter. It went out.
Okay, so the only call I get is Thursdays at 8 o'clock.
No, do you have a pen and paper there? Do you have a pen to take another number?
Oh, all right. I have a pen.
All right, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights. Which state are you in?
Monday, Tuesday,
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Maryland,
All right, 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Yes.
Is that only with Dr. Wallace?
No. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday cover Mark Hamilton's books. That phone
Okay.
number is 206.
No, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, cover Mark Wallace, but that phone number is 206
402.
206
Yeah, 206 402
402
0100.
0100.
Right. And the code to get into that call is 688 456 and the pound sign.
688
456 pound.
456,
And then the pound sign.
and then the pound sign.
Right. So you have 3 calls there, and then you have this call tonight. Okay?
688 456 pound sign.
Right.
Okay.
Okay?
206 402 0100. 688 456 pound.
No, it's 206 402.
Or Tuesday.
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
206 402.
2.
Okay? 0100. Okay?
Right.
All right. Thank you.